They say absolute power corrupts absolutely, but that pretty much means nothing for this top 5. 3D and 4D and 1D chess grandmasters, internet, my name is Peridiam, and there's absolutely no power in this video because we're talking about the least powerful winners in all of Big Brother. Now, I've said this before, many years ago, and I will say it again. Just because someone isn't very powerful doesn't mean it's an indictment against them. Sometimes less can be more, especially when you're really lucky and the stars align your way, but I want to make that distinction clear because I'm not harping on these 5 so much as just recognizing you don't need much power, or in some cases really any power, to win. And that's okay. I'm still not the best at poker, but sometimes I get a lucky hand and still manage to screw it up. Unlike these 5, who went all in with pocket 2s and won. Anyway, here are the 5 least powerful Big Brother winners, starting with number 5. Rock and roll, pots and pans, father, and daughter. Number 5 is Dick Donato from Big Brother 8. Evil Dick is an interesting one because there's a strong argument to be made about America's player getting in the way of truly dissecting his game. For one, he gets evicted as the first juror if not for that twist saving him. For 2, Danielle gets evicted a few weeks later if not for the twist saving her, which, as much as many people wouldn't like to admit, would render Dick unable to win a jury vote. But then, for the first 5 weeks, Dick was in the dominant alliance of the season, the LNC, and he did win HOH at one point, helping decide the direction of the season. He had decent bonds with most of the other power players, despite rubbing several of them the wrong way. Dick was a giant shield for many of them, and when the America's Player twist turned against him with the rogue votes, he became this season-long underdog fighting for his life each week. I have Dick at 5 and not higher on the list, but it's tough to divorce his power level from Eric playing for the producers who were likewise assisting Dick. So while, yes, Dick is one of the least powerful, I have split the difference and kept him at the beginning of the video.
What's the story, Morning Glory?
Danielle's my daughter.
Oh!
And Danielle hasn't talked to me in 2 years.
Oh.
I'm going to Scandinavia. I'm taking an African safari. I'm doing all of the things that I've dreamed about doing and that I've really
How
wanted
can you
to
do all that with only $50,000?
Dick, you owe America a big fat thank you.
Number 4. Apples and clowns, pots and pans, meat and balls. Number 4 is Josh Martinez from Big Brother 19. Josh is a tricky winner to estimate, if only because a lot of this season was dictated through Josh's number 1 ally in Paul. Paul ran the house, decided the boot order, and Josh happened to be in the innermost circle of Paul's sphere of influence. Make no mistake, let's not get it twisted, Paul held the power, absolutely would have been one of the most powerful winners we'd ever seen had they won, but Josh won. Josh won. Josh was often called the lapdog for Paul. Josh was the shield. He got loud and he didn't mind getting in people's faces. He was crafty with his goodbye messages and knew best to suck up to Paul all season. He could read the writing on the wall and was capable enough to foster decent relations with most of the future jurors. But at the same time, Josh never displayed much agency through his own decision making. His most tactical decisions always served others that he was close to, and so despite never really being in much danger all season, I find it difficult to say that he controlled much of anything when it was mostly all Paul. That said, he did win some competitions, so there is that. Josh won because Paul fumbled en route to the end, and it's that dynamic right there that perhaps speaks most loud about why I have Josh in this top 5.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Turn it up to 30.
To a 30?
To a 30. Pots and everything.
Hello, friends. Guess what time it is? And a 1, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Big surprise to you guys and to Paul is that I'm actually a super fan, and I've been a super fan since I was 14 years old.
Why unnecessarily lie to our faces days and hours before we were going to the jury?
This season, why did you decide to go against that by creating friendships and alliances and then destroying them?
Number 3. Pots and pans. No, I'm kidding. The Princess of Darkness, she called herself, and it's Lisa Donahue from Big Brother 3. Now, I'm a fan of Lisa, and I've claimed before that she is one of the most underrated, and I stand by that, but that doesn't mean that she was all-powerful throughout her season. She won the first HOH as well as the last, but like a sandwich, it's often what's in between that makes the difference. She began in a majority alliance, yet was quickly on the outs of the week 2 votes. She was on the block by week 4 and lost her showmance in Eric, and from there she had to recuperate and was picked up as a number for the power duo of Jason and Danielle. Lisa was their loyal and royal third, but she rarely was in charge. She stood up for herself against Josh, but otherwise was more than keen to let her allies take their shots and eventually underestimate her and sink their games. How much of this was Lisa's own doing, I'm not 100% sure, but the fact that she connected strongly with those two players more than anyone else does go a long way. Lisa definitely played one of the better games that season, but it was rarely from a place of power. It was similar to Josh. She was in the core alliance, but not the leader, and ultimately followed their whims more than her own.
I made it to the final 2 by playing the game. I saved all of my strength, and I listened.
Correct answer is Lisa.
Do you have any regrets?
None at all.
Big Brother 3, final 2, Danielle and Lisa.
She seems innocent, but come on now. We're all competitors here.
Number 2. No pots and pans, just circuitry and wires. Yeah, number 2 is one of the most unique winners, arguably the most in the history of the show, and that's Dr. Will Kirby from Big Brother 2. And don't get me wrong, just like Lisa, I am not calling the Doctor a weak winner. If anything, the first line of this video fits perfectly with Will's Big Brother 2 narrative. The big players of that season became absolutely corrupt with power, and Will exploited that to a T. Similar to Lisa, the most power Will ever held was in week 1 and at the very end when he played the role of the devil to Hardy and Nicole by throwing the final 4 HOH. Between then, Will hung on like a cat with 9 lives, double dealt like crazy, pitted players against one another, exploited their weaknesses, told them what they wanted to hear, and did a little bit of trolling when he could, which was often. Will never called the shots. He never won HOH. He just functioned as the peanut gallery or the pawn on the chopping block and floated from power player to power player. He exploited others' perception of him for his own gain and perhaps raises the question of where true power in the game lies. Is it the person who wears the key, the person who has the pivotal vote, or the person who's got the silver tongue?
I think the difference between everyone else in the house and myself is that I have claimed to be dishonest and evil and backstabbing from the beginning, and they're all now realizing that that's what they are.
It doesn't surprise me at all that he took the money. He's just a, a big liar. He's even a worse liar than me, and the worst part about it is he can't admit it. He stabbed Krista in the back, he stabbed Kent in the back. He started this game saying he was here to play for other people, and now he's here for the money. Think about the ramifications of that. If I'm the only person who votes this week, I can make any secret deal I want with either Hardy or Nicole, sending me into the final 2, or I can send whichever one of them home that I want, and I hate them both, so to me, this is the greatest thing that could have happened.
What it really is a very angry woman.
You know how pissed off I get. What are you thinking?
She has one eye that's a piercing eye. It's used mainly for finding dirty towels on the floor. Also, it's used to find kids who are having a good time and to yell at them.
Number 1. This probably shouldn't shock anyone, but let's just say that when they were asked what animal they could be, if they could be any animal in the world, they picked a squirrel. I am talking about Jordan Lloyd from Big Brother 11. I am still shocked to this day that Jordan won that final HOH after everything that went down that season. Where did that come from? Can you fault Kevin and Natalie for evicting Michelle over her? Jordan was constantly on the bottom through the pre-jury, losing allies left and right, only spared because she was like the least threatening of the entire cast. Her showmance was given an overpowered advantage, like the most overpowered advantage in the history of the show, that tilted the momentum their way, and from there her allies basically served as shields as they got taken out all the way up to the final 3. But at long last, Jordan was finally exposed and ready to be disposed of, and then she won HOH. And then she won the season. And then she almost won a whole other season 2 years later. Dr. Will who?
If you had to be any animal, what would you be?
An eagle.
Why?
Because they're cool and they fly. You wouldn't want to fly?
I would be a squirrel.
You could be any animal in the whole world and you'd be a squirrel? What kind of aspirations do you have for yourself?
When Jeff stood up, I was in complete shock Completely fooled. Thank you, America. You put it in the right person's hands.
What was Jordan's power play move in the game? Because I'm looking at the game and I look at Jordan and I don't see anything that really stands out.
What was your best move in the game?
My best move.
And that's all he wrote. Well, except for the outro. Those are the top 5 least powerful winners in Big Brother. So what do y'all think? Is there somebody I missed? A big thank you to my patrons for enabling me to wield some smidge of power each week. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to fall backwards into a good spot on your way out. And I will see you in the next one once I go on an immunity streak, only to still lose in the final 2.
Hardy wins head of household competition. Congratulations, Hardy. Hardy, congratulations. You are the new head of household once again. Nicole, your dream has come true. Congratulations. You are finally the head of household.
Hardy is the new head of household. Congratulations, Hardy.
Congratulations, Nicole. With a score of 7-6, you are the final and most powerful head of household.
The simple fact of the matter is, if you're not happy with this show, maybe you're not happy with reality-based TV in general. If you're not happy with reality-based TV, maybe you're not happy with, as the name suggests, reality. You all need to learn to love each other, and we need to all get along a lot better. On that note, I bid you a fond farewell, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon.
And I voted for you, baby. Congratulations.
All right, I just have to make it official. Congratulations, Will. By a vote of 5-2, you are the winner of Big Brother 2.
I have nothing but wonderful things to say about Nicole. I knew a long time ago that she was a really strong person, and that's why I jumped on her coattails and wrote it as long as I could. To me, this show was really fun. I know a lot of people were relying on it for financial freedom, and for me, it was just, a summer. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to waste it.